Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to introduce the PlayStation 4.
For the first time, let me now unveil Xbox.
Our next generation portable is officially named PlayStation Vita.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
Well, the wait is over. This is Nintendo DS.
So today, welcome to the world of Wii U.
Welcome to episode 7 of the 411, folks. I'm back with Jake. We've had some time off. Mainly your fault, because you've been away.
All my fault, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's actually all your fault.
Yeah.
I've been asking to do an episode. We almost had a guest to fill in for you. That didn't turn out though.
No. But yeah, I had some time off. Went to a music festival, had to do some work. Very long music festival, but I'm back now, ready to talk
Over
gaming.
Easter.
Yeah. I'm sure, like everyone else, everyone had some time off during Easter, but you know, I had more time off than everyone else, I think.
Yeah.
So Scott, what's been up? What's been happening?
Well, there was the autumn sale on the Xbox One a few days ago. I think it was just over Easter. I don't think it's on anymore.
Okay.
Not that I've seen. I checked it this morning, and there were loads of games that were 50% off, 60% off. I saw some that were 75% off. I was tempted to get 3 or 4 of them. I ended up getting 2. I got The Witcher 3 for $30. No, $35. That's a
Pretty
good deal.
Yeah.
And I got the Telltale Games collection, which was reduced from 150 to 50.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I've only played like 5 minutes of The Walking Dead so far, because right now I'm into Witcher 3.
Season 1.
Yeah,
Walking
Season 1,
Dead,
yeah. It was the first one to download, so I just turned that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing the Game of Thrones one, though, because I'm right into that at the
Okay.
moment, so...
What do you think of so far of Walking Dead? Nothing has really happened.
No, nothing's happened. It's just done the very first sequence where, you're driving and... Have you played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just driving in the car and then the car crashes and then you sort of... I didn't know... As soon as it started and then, the car crashed, I thought it was a game where it was just player choice. You choose what he says. I didn't know you could actually walk around with the player.
So Walking Dead Season 1 is a very early Telltale game, and there was still early Telltale games even before The Walking Dead, before they really went into this player choice decision story making. All their games were point and click adventures.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
what the early Telltale games were doing were incorporating the adventuring point and click elements into this decision making. And as the games have been going on into Borderlands and Game of Thrones, very less and less of that point and click elements.
Oh, good. I don't like the point and click.
Well, you're not going to like it because you start getting to some very basic to moderate difficult puzzles as the game goes on. So I don't think you're going to like that.
It's just so finicky.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
But is that so? That happens less and less in the newer games.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Game of Thrones one, is there lots of point and click in that?
Oh, I haven't played that one,
okay.
but I'm guessing because that was only last year, so
it's newer.
It's definitely newer. So I played Borderlands, which was pretty much happening at the exact same time as Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And there was very little. There was walking to be done. No puzzles though. Just interacting with things and.
What's the newest one?
They're making Walking Dead Michonne right now.
Oh yeah, no, that's already out. Oh, the episode 1's out.
Yes.
But what's the newest one that's in that collection?
Oh,
would that be Borderlands?
Probably Borderlands, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's got Wolf Among Us. Is that the first one?
No, Walking Dead was before.
Oh, okay.
That. Yeah, I played that one. I've got about halfway through that one. I really enjoy that. I didn't think I did because I didn't think I would because I'm not familiar with that universe, all those characters. But it's really good.
Mainly, I just wanted to try out a Telltale game because I've never played one before or really even seen much gameplay of it. I just knew it was about player choice and that's what I really like. So as soon as I bought the collection for $50, I read online that The Wolf Among Us will be free. A free gold game.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I am glad that I did get the Game of Thrones one because I want to play that. Although I could have bought it separately and got the Wolf Among Us for free. But Also, one that I'm not really interested in playing is the Borderlands one, but I hear that's one of the best ones.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I guess I am looking forward to playing that one as well.
Yeah, it's
And Walking Dead, I'm a huge fan of the show, so that's why it's sort of like it's bearable at the moment. You know?
But I think these are more based. I'm not big on Walking Dead universe at all, so don't quote me on this. I think the Telltale games are more based on the graphic novels.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
I think.
Well, I mean, from what I've seen for the Game of Thrones one, I've seen lots of screenshots, and all the screenshots have the characters from the show.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the voice acting though.
I don't think they do the voice acting.
Okay.
Because I've looked at some of the actors on the IMDb, it doesn't have anything with the game, so...
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. But yeah, talking about the games of gold, I'm not sure if this is coming up in the news or not.
No, it's not.
It's not,
No.
but this is a very good month for games of gold. Sunset Overdrive, which I know you're not a big fan of, but I've always wanted to play this. So to have a chance to buy it for free, I'm so in.
I'm definitely going to get it for free. I'll download it. I did buy it when it first came out for $100.
Yeah.
And I played about nearly 2 hours of it. Just took it back straight away, got my money back. Just because I think I didn't like the fact that I paid $100 for it. Yeah. I think if it was cheaper, if I picked it up and it was cheaper, I'd keep it and stick with it. It's just that I don't think it was worth $100. The gameplay of it, it looks really fun when you're watching some let's plays. Yeah. But when you're actually doing it, it's actually difficult. You know, you're going to be moving 100% of the time. You're going to be sort of grinding those things 100% of the time to do your combat. You cannot get off those rails and go to do some ground combat. You'll just die.
Yeah.
So you got to be moving 100% of the time. So you're doing two things at once, and it's just really difficult.
I've heard it takes you a few hours to get your head around.
Yeah.
But once it just clicks, and it's just so enjoyable.
I was just up to a mission where it was just impossible for me to beat. I think, But I'll definitely get it for free. Yeah, and
off the top of my head, I can't remember what the 360 games are. Can you?
No.
No.
But there were some pretty good ones with the 360.
Dead Space, I think. One of them was definitely Dead Space. First Dead Space. Anyway, probably something we should look up. But Xbox One, awesome games for gold for April. It's probably by the time this goes live, it'll be about April.
The free ones, for the first half of the month, it's The Wolf Among Us, and then the second half of the month, Sunset Overdrive comes up as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks good. So also I've been playing Witcher 3, and it's really good to get back into one of those medieval RPGs, huge open world thing. Because I mean, you know how long I spent with Skyrim.
Exactly 100 hours.
Yeah, exactly 100 hours. Not a second over.
No.
And I haven't gone back to that save file. But yeah, with The Witcher 3, it's really good to get back into that style of gameplay. I do prefer the Elder Scrolls. One of the main reasons I do prefer it is because you have the option to go into first person, and because when you sort of, you're going through the big open world, which is, I usually go third person for that, even with Fallout. But when you're going into sort of indoor areas and close quarters, I mostly do it in first person because it's just easier to navigate.
Yeah.
With The Witcher 3, you're always in this third person mode, and it's really hard to sort of get around in these close quarter areas because the character is very finicky to control, and sort of the slightest movement would send him 2 steps forward, and then even when you're sort of trying to look at something to click on to loot, it's just I'm having trouble with that. I don't know.
Maybe it's just something to do with the sensitivity. Have you looked at the options?
Maybe I'll have to have a look at that. But other than that, the gameplay, the difficulty I chose was the lowest of the low. The difficulty is called Just the Story.
Oh, Scott.
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go change that because it's pretty easy.
No, I hate games doing that now. Even they've been putting that in Mario games where you die a few times and then Luigi pops up and he does the level for you kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't see the fun in it.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna have to start it again and put it up because there was this it was doing this sort of tutorial teaching you how to fist fight, and you're sort of fist fighting a bunch of these villages. There's 3 of them, and so I go and punch one of them in the face, and he nearly dies. There's like a tiny bit of his life left.
Yeah.
So, and you do these missions where it's sort of like your first sort of big monster that you kill is this griffin, and before you kill one of those monsters, you got to do a lot of research on the monster. So you got to do a lot of missions going about finding where the monster lives and what kind of animal it is and all that, and then you go kill the monster. So it's this big sort of thing to kill this huge monster, and it's supposed to be a really hard battle. But yeah, it was a really easy battle for me. So
Yeah.
it's not very rewarding in that way.
No, and you're not big on difficult games.
No, but
Which
I
is a
think if
shame.
I just step it up one more, I think it'd be good.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, like we said, I haven't been playing too many games, but just last Saturday or the Saturday before,
Last Saturday, yeah.
yeah, I picked up Pokken Tournament. One of my most... No, it wasn't one of my most anticipated games, but I was really hyped for it. And it lives up to it, 100% lives up to it. I've always been fascinated and interested in the fighting game genre. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. I've picked up Mortal Kombat before in the past. It's a great game, but something I could just never dedicate the time to. You know, difficult combo. You have to learn all the combo buttons, and no, just nothing like I can do. Pokken Tournament, however, is a great mix of just simple button, one or two button presses, and
It's like Tekken for kids.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. That's
Yeah.
all I want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So just a few button combos and techniques and stuff, and it's just got that Pokemon skin over it, so it's 100% appealing to me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's incredible. The only, I suppose, minor gripe I have maybe at this point is the limited roster of characters.
How many?
I would say there's about 10 or 12.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they announced new ones for this game. Like,
Those were the new ones.
really?
So the arcade machine must have like
8?
5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this game would be perfect for DLC,
Yeah, definitely.
and I really hope they do bring in some DLC, because in the main
Well,
kind of...
I mean, that's kind of like... I don't think this warrants DLC. Like, they should have had more characters. This day and age, they should have had more characters for a
know.
full-priced Wii U game, I think.
Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
look at the roster for Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 8, you know?
I know, but this is the first one of this.
Yeah.
They didn't want... They probably just didn't want to overload with characters and maybe make one too similar to another. So...
And I guess if you play a lot of this game for, the next year or something with these characters, or even for the next few months, when a new character comes out for DLC, it's really exciting because you're sort of tired of these same old 12 characters. Or even if they do a Pokken Tournament 2 in, a year from now, they can do this whole thing of announcing new characters month by month or something. So that's kind of exciting, just like they did with Smash Bros. So.
Yeah, so I'm already getting pretty tired of the current roster, because the quote-unquote story mode, or the main campaign of the game, you do a lot of battles to get through. It's a pretty lengthy campaign, and you're already fighting in just like the one kind of bracket of, like, I suppose, competition or tournament that you're in. You fight at least 3 of the same Pokemon in maybe 8 battles. So it does grind on you a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate, but I don't know, it's so easy to pick up, yet it's difficult to master.
I don't see how many how many hours do you think you can put into it by the time you sort of really get over the limited roster?
I'd say about 50 to 60 hours.
50 to 60 hours, really?
Yeah.
Well, how many have you done so far?
Maybe about 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you said you're already getting over it, so you can do another,
Well, of course,
10 times.
because I want to really learn all my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And that'll take some time.
So who's your favorite to play with?
I've been using Lucario.
Yeah.
He's pretty much an all-rounder. I think next I want to move to Suicune.
So there's 12 Pokemon in the game out of 700 and something.
Yeah.
Which Pokemon should not be there?
Oh, wow. Well, firstly, there's 2 variations of Pikachu.
Yeah.
There's Pikachu, and then there's Luche Pikachu or something. He's got like a Luche Macho Lure mask on him. What do you call it? Like the wrestling mask?
Yeah.
It's just a different costume variant to Pikachu, yet he's a separate character. So he shouldn't be there.
And that takes up one of the character slots.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Another character shouldn't be there. Oh, I can't think of the top of my head.
Is this other Pikachu that got the same skill set and everything?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous.
I'm not too sure on that one, but you know, it's two types of Pikachu, which is annoying.
Yeah.
You know, I really can't think of who shouldn't be there. The most annoying, surprisingly, the most difficult to use, surprisingly, is Machamp, because he's all physical attack.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much all the other Pokemon have a special, you know, like a projectile kind of thing.
Yeah.
Machamp really doesn't have that because he's a fighting Pokemon. So he's probably the most difficult to use. I don't know. He belongs there because it's a fighting game.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know, it kind of makes me think who else could be who could fit in. You know, I'd love to see the classics like Hitmonchan, Hitmontop or something. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
They could even do a DLC pack of like, you know, the fighting Pokemon with like Hitmonlee, those kind of things all in there.
It is. I mean, sure that all the Pokemon kind of span. Not every single generation, I don't think. Not at least the main characters, but you have many support characters as well.
Yeah.
Which you need to unlock. So I haven't unlocked any of them, but all those obviously span every single generation. Oh,
okay, yeah. So there's a lot more Pokemon in the game.
Yes, but they're support. They just duck in for like 2 seconds and then they're out.
Yeah.
So overall, fantastic game. I can't wait till I can sink enough hours into to actually learn it. I did jump online with it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Had some really close games, which was really exciting. I haven't had that in a fighting game before, which is awesome. But I feel like the less I continue to play it at the launch of this game, I'll just fall right behind the pack. As in, people are getting better than me, and I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
Which, you know...
Just like when you started off in Mario Kart 8, you come in first in every race.
Yeah.
You pick it up now, you're just getting dominated.
Yeah. It's a shame. But, you know, it's got enough like single player and local co-op player built into it that it's got me hooked. And, you know, it'll tie me over nicely until Star Fox Zero, which is, you know, 2-ish more weeks away.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice. Well, any other games you've been playing?
That's really about it.
Yeah.
I've been, you know, typically Pokemon like you. Actually, I picked up Pokemon Pearl.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if I brought this up on the last podcast. I'm about 10 hours in.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't realize is that, when I replay Pokemon games, I like to have a completely different party from the first time I played the game.
Yeah.
Trying to get a whole different party. I'm 3 gyms in, and I still only have 3 Pokemon. And my starter Pokemon...
you just come across Pokemon, you're like, I do not want you.
No. And my starter Pokemon is like level 30 or something.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's so hard to train everyone else because you just have to train in the grass.
Yeah.
Because you can't get all the trainers, all the gyms. It's such a grind. And it's so disappointing. So
that's probably why you put so many hours into the Diamond.
Well, no, because in Diamond, all the Pokemon you come across early in the game, I had in my Diamond party. You know, Luxray and Starly and Gastrovis and that kind of stuff. But now, you come across all those in before the first 2 gyms. So I had no one for the first 2 gyms.
Ever thought of trading between, you know, your black file or something to give you some Pokemon?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, it's probably...
Would you want to do that though?
Maybe if I get really desperate.
Yeah.
I only have 3, and if I don't come across anyone...
It's just that it's good to have Pokemon that you want early on so you can play your whole game with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait until, you know, your 7th gym and you catch a new Pokemon, you're like, oh, I finally finished my party.
I know.
But it's at the end of the game.
I know. So...
That's how they do it, you know?
Maybe that's something that you can... I don't know how they can, like, balance that, if that's a thing people have been complaining about. It's only bad for replayability.
Yeah.
But I suppose what that encourages, like you've been saying, like trade between games. Maybe that's what I need to do to replay a game. I don't know. That's all I've been playing.
Yep. Yeah, other than those 2 games that I mentioned, Witcher 3 and Telltale, I'm still playing Life is Strange. I'm up to episode 2 at the moment. It's really good still.
Enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it.
What do you think of the dialogue?
I don't think it's too bad, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, has there been a lot of criticism about it?
Just the few reviews I saw found that not... Just like they couldn't relate to it because it's so stereotypically teenage girl.
Yeah. Actually, the main character I don't really like. She's just one of those really indie kind of girls who just really shy, and I don't know, I just can't relate to her at all. First of all, I'm not a girl, so I can't relate to her in that way. Second of all, I'm not really that shy either, so it's like hard to sort of relate to this character, and it's just...
Are you a hipster though?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, some of the dialogue is a bit weird. Like you can tell maybe an adult has written it trying to be a bit teenager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I had an example, but I forgot what it was. It's something like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look it up, and maybe a next episode I'll put it on here. But yeah, some of it's a bit cringy. But
yeah,
overall, it's actually it's pretty good, I think.
Okay.
And other than that, I've been playing Rugby League Live 3.
Awesome. Let's skip over that.
Awesome game. All right. Well, let's get into the news, shall we? Start our show 20 minutes in.
Like it.
New record or... first bit of news I've got down is that Etrian Odyssey 5 has been announced, which isn't, too exciting to us or anything, but the only reason I wrote it down is because they've announced that it will be the last numbered entry of the franchise to appear on the 3DS. Now, Etrian Odyssey, they're quite frequent with their game releases, so this could be a hint at the end of the 3DS. Because they've got a lot of spin-off games, which usually release at least once a year or something. But yeah, since this will be the last numbered entry of the Etrian Odyssey series, they're probably hinting at, this is the end of the 3DS. So.
What a weird thing to announce, though. Why would they even bring that up?
I don't know. Obviously means Etrian Odyssey 6 will be on a new console.
But are they hinting at the end of the series, though?
No, they just said the last game for the 3DS. So I assume there'd be more, but just not on the 3DS.
That's a really weird thing. Was that like an official kind of statement?
Yeah.
I don't get that. I mean, the obvious thought in your mind is, the next one will be on the next next console. And then,
I mean, it's like when Pokemon announced Sun and Moon, they didn't say that this was to be the last for the 3DS, but we obviously all assume that.
Have they even said it's on 3DS? Yeah, see?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
It's coming out this year.
Yeah.
3DS is still going strong.
Everything is just... This is why I just want Nintendo to give us some closure on these things. Because everything, even to the smallest games like Etrian Odyssey, are so up in the air with rumor and this kind of thing that they just need to tell us.
Yeah.
It's 4 months. It's basically 4 months into the year, and I'm so sick of hearing about this stuff.
Yeah, I know. All these NX rumors still going.
Oh, what was that? What was that? Nikkei, the Japanese, financial reporter Nikkei, reported something about the Wii U, finalizing production at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. I didn't read it.
No, I just read the headline, but yeah, this financial report stated that the Wii U was to be wrapping up production, like no more would be made by the end of the year. But Nintendo came out and squashed that, saying it's false. But in traditional Nintendo way, that's the Nintendo thing to do, saying, "Oh, that's not happening," but in real fact, it is happening. They've done that in the past. So,
who knows?
Just...
Did you also see those photos of the
controller?
Yeah, the controller.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, they looked real and everything, and apparently everyone was going on about how they are real. But then they were proven to be fake. But Nintendo didn't say anything, and people were complaining. Why didn't Nintendo just come out and say that these are fake?
Didn't they? I thought they have come out.
I think they figured it out elsewhere, but then they might have said something. But
okay,
it's just like straight away they should have come out with something saying no, these aren't real. Because they've been circulating for a while.
Yeah.
But nothing was said. It was just all rumors. So
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm just getting angry just thinking about it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, next piece of news is it's a pretty big piece of news. I was actually going to turn this into a topic, but I think we'll just leave it as a news topic, which is the upgraded consoles. So there's been a lot of talk. I first heard of it as when the Xbox was going to be upgraded to Xbox 1.1, Xbox 1.1, Xbox 1.2, Xbox 1.3, and these would be actually new consoles rather than just an update.
yeah.
And so it'll be kind of in the same line as the new Nintendo 3DS. So it's a whole new console so you can get games that play, a lot better.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing now. PlayStation is sort of being rumored to have a PlayStation 0.5 that's coming out.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. What do you think about this?
I think it's pretty ridiculous. I bought the Xbox One on launch knowing that this would be my console for the next 7 to 8 years.
That's just the way I think this is just the way things are progressing now. Technology is moving the fastest it's ever moved, and that all gamers, I'd say 90% of gamers, the majority of gamers are looking for the most highest end of their gaming experiences.
Yeah.
The most popular thing on Reddit and YouTube is frame rate comparisons between PS4 and Xbox One.
I hate those.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And
it's just like even graphics comparisons. It's
Yeah.
like, I can't say, all it is maybe just brightness.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it.
much. And so, this is just another thing to prolong the console wars.
Yeah.
And I guess in Xbox case, in Microsoft case, for a while they've been stating how the Xbox is trying to translate more to a PC.
Yeah.
So PCs are always upgradable.
Yeah.
Why can't the Xbox be too?
Because like in 7 years from now, when the same games are coming out on an Xbox One and the PC, they're going to look like 10 times better on the PC.
Yeah.
And but if there is sort of upgradable consoles, then you can get the same kind of quality on the Xbox One. But who would buy a brand new console like for $400?
Like you just said, you bought a new Nintendo 3DS.
I did, but that was because I was certain there'd be a lot of exclusive new Nintendo 3DS games coming out. And I was wrong.
Yeah.
So after that, I definitely sort of will not be purchasing something like that again. But do you think that if they do this, there would be exclusive games for these new consoles, or would they just be games that come out for both consoles in the same respect as Xbox 360 to Xbox One? They just look better on Xbox One and play better.
I would say there'll be maybe very few exclusives.
Yeah.
Maybe not even like the highest of high AAA games, because they want everyone to play AAA games.
Yeah.
Maybe just.
Well, depending on the sales, if the sales are extremely high for these new consoles, then they probably just will forget about the other consoles and phase them out.
Yeah, it's I'll put my money on having them work on, like, it's still this. It's not jumping a number. It's not jumping a console generation. So to bring out a game for PS4, it's going to work on PS4 and PS4.5. But 4.5 will just play it, 50 times better or something.
I think it's just ridiculous. I think for most gamers, or maybe not most gamers, but we've got two brothers who literally just play FIFA and NBA.
Yeah.
They're not going like, if they phase out these consoles and they have to get a new console just to play those games,
they're not going to do it.
No, they're not going to do it.
No. It's a weird one,
like,
isn't it?
there are gamers who literally just want to play some sport games, like just casual gamers.
No, and then they know that, and then that's why they can't. Yeah, that's why they can't phase it out yet. Hell, I mean, I still wonder how many people are playing 360s. That's got to be in the hundreds of thousands still, right?
Yeah, there'd be still quite a few, and it's nearly almost 3 years into the new console generation. Well, they're still releasing games for those consoles, so
yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
I thought for sure now we would not be seeing all those PS3 and Xbox 360 games in stores.
Dark Souls 3 is an old gen game
really?
As well.
Oh,
I just noticed that. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
So, this is a weird one because I don't know what to think of it, actually.
I don't want it to happen. I just want to keep my console for the next, 5 years left of probably this generation. I just want to keep that and just play it.
Well, okay, like I said for Microsoft, even PS4, even Sony has their arguments in that, they've got VR. They've got their VR headset.
Yeah.
As we've been saying in past episodes, it's very early tech for VR. Maybe they just want the PS 4.5 out the door as soon as they can because they want the PSVR to run as best they can. Just another thing to push PSVR.
True. A lot of people were joking that it would be called PlayStation 4K, just because it'll support 4K rather than just 1080p, and it's for VR as well. But yeah, I mean, this could be the thing that they need to support VR.
Look, like you said, we're 3 years into the new consoles. That could be halfway. I
hope not.
Well, almost 1 year of halfway maybe.
Yeah.
And if these are rumors at the moment, maybe these consoles could be another year away, marking the halfway point.
Yeah, true.
Possibly,
hence the 0.5.
Sure, and then not every console generation has to last as long as 360 and PS4 did, because in comparison to everything else, that was a really long generation.
It was good. Yeah,
but don't you see how the graphics suffered over that long point of time?
Yeah, but I mean, the games that were coming out in the last, in 2012, 2013 for PS3 and Xbox 360 were pretty high end. I mean, like,
they pushed that tech as far as they could.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, that was a huge game. The graphics were pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really complain about those games.
No, absolutely not. But I mean, if they had maybe brought these newer consoles out even 1-2 years earlier, maybe people wouldn't be so desperate for these 4.5s and 1.1s.
True, yeah.
Who knows? I'm just so sick of gamers who are like, developers and publishers feel the need to, before games are released, publicize like, oh, this game will run at 1080p 60.
Yeah.
And then actually on that Gears of War 4, it's been reported that Gears of War 4 will run at 1080 30 frames a second. And there's just been a huge uproar about that.
Yeah.
Because, it's my new console, why can't it run at 60 frames? Halo 5 ran at 1080 60, but that's only because they had to sacrifice local split screen.
Yeah.
And Gears of War 4, however, has split screen, and it always has. And then people have argued that also, every Gears of War game has run at 30 frames per second, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you, are you a big... Do you even care if it runs at 30 or 60?
No.
No, me neither.
I don't notice.
Oh, no, you can't notice?
Well, I mean, I don't know which games do and which games don't. And it's not like it's bothered me so far. So.
No. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. People are so picky.
I mean, if this does happen, then when they announce, PlayStation 5 or the fourth installation of Xbox, it's not going to be that big anymore because, the console specs would already be sort of close to that.
Yeah.
Because they have been upgraded.
They're so the way they release the consoles are so close together. It's no longer an event.
Yeah.
The launch of PS4, Xbox One was
was massive.
That was a historical event.
Yeah.
And that will be lost.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really see the launch of PCs, I guess.
No.
So are these home consoles turning into more hybrid PCs? Is that what we want?
I hope not. Unless, they release parts for you to do it yourself, just like for PCs.
Yeah.
Would you? I just hope if it does happen, I just hope they still release the same games on both versions. It just plays better and looks better on the new versions.
Yeah.
Because in that case, I probably won't get it.
Yeah.
Who has the money for that?
Yeah, how much would they charge for that? Would it be half the price or the exact same?
It'd probably be just a new console price, exact same. They couldn't charge any less. It's a whole new console.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll move on. There are rumors of Skyrim being remastered, bringing to the new consoles. Would you be up for that?
I don't think I'd buy it. No, I'll just play Skyrim on my 360.
There's photos of Skyrim on PC lately. You know how PC you're able to mod the game. There's new mods for graphics, and some of these screenshots of Skyrim look amazing. Yeah, like the best graphics I've ever seen. If they come out with Skyrim looking like that, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, modders can do some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen any mods for Minecraft as well?
No.
Like, especially texture and graphics mods. You're complaining about how Minecraft, you just go into the graphics. You can choose any graphical mod you want for Minecraft, and it'll just have the same Minecraft experience in a different kind of graphical style.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I wish I had a PC.
Yeah.
But for Skyrim,
you got in late with Skyrim, and you got the collection with all the DLC.
Yeah, I did.
And then you started some of the DLC, and you were just like, I just want to play the main game.
Yeah, I got stuck in the Dawn Guard part.
Yeah.
And I got turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
I really regret
You see, for
that.
someone like me who's pretty much finished all the story and a lot of the side missions, I never played any of the DLC, but I was ready for that.
Yeah.
You sort of were going in, into the DLC straight away. And that's the same thing I did with Fallout 3. I got the Game of the Year edition, started this DLC thing first, and I just wanted to get out of it. But, you can't.
I think DLC is... Oh, this could be another topic of time. DLC is what it is. It's DLC. It's extra content. It's not content that should be built in with the game. Like I had that... No, even when I played Borderlands 1, I bought the season pass. First Borderlands? Actually, no, I take that back.
Borderlands 2?
No, Borderlands 1, I bought the Collector's Edition 2.
Yeah, you did.
And I installed the second disc after I'd finished the game.
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Yeah.
Because if I had got stuck in one of those... Borderlands is different. The mission selection is totally different.
Yeah.
But if I had got stuck in one of those areas, which is another 20-plus hour experience, I would have just got so frustrated.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with Skyrim, and that's kind of what made me fall out of love with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get back into it.
Two Worlds 2, do you know this game?
No.
It's a game very similar to Skyrim and a lot of those open world RPGs. Like Risen.
Okay.
This game is getting DLC. This game was released 5 years ago.
Okay.
And also it was announced that they're making Two Worlds 3. So I was actually looking up on the internet the other day games that were similar to Witcher 3, and of course it came up with a lot of the Skyrim, Oblivion, Risen, and Two Worlds 2 came up and all that. But so if you're looking for a game that is similar to those kinds of games, Two Worlds 3 is coming up. So I'm probably interested in that. Because I love those open world RPGs, like all the medieval kind of stuff.
So is Two Worlds 2 a 360 game, is it?
Yeah.
It's so odd.
Yeah, it's weird that they're releasing DLC. And it's not just one. I think there's a few packs coming out for it.
Does Two Worlds 2 is it even backwards compatible with
I don't know.
these new consoles?
I don't know.
God, who's going to buy that?
Maybe there's a big fan base.
Oh, that still just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Moving on into I don't know how you're going to feel about this one.
All right.
Remember our discussion with Roller Coaster Tycoon World a few episodes ago? I think it was episode 3.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Well, this game was supposed to come out last year. It was supposed to come out around now, in March.
Yeah.
But instead of releasing the full game, they're not ready, so they've released an early access version of the game. Meaning it's an unfinished product, but they've still released it. So
it's like a beta.
Kind of, yeah. Instead of releasing the full product... instead of delaying the game for another time, which people don't want, they've released this part, and then they're still going to finish it off and release the full product later on, but they have given no release date of the full product.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying because, I'm really just hanging out to play this one.
Do you feel like this game is then doomed to stay like this? If they still can't see an end in sight?
That's actually the thing that I was reading. There was people worried about that. Are they actually going to continue with this? Because if there's low sales for this early access thing, and not much interest in it, and bad feedback from it, then are they even going to finish it?
Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they're just after some feedback.
They've already done it though with the beta. They've got their feedback. They're just still working on it. I just don't understand. And as well, this is the third company that's worked on the game.
Yeah.
They've also got 2 competitors as well. There's 2 other part games being made that are due to release this year. So they got to hurry up, I think, if they're gonna make an impact.
Look, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Look, I probably wouldn't. This is a PC only game, so
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even play it. But I am so sick of games just drawing out the. Look, no, like gaming delays aren't a bad thing. They're a bad thing that we can't play the game. They're a bad thing in this situation where they just won't see an end. But they're a good thing because hell, they're making the game better.
Yeah, it's true.
I could have had and probably perfected by now Star Fox Zero.
Yeah.
That would have been out in November, I think it would have.
Yeah.
And
But you probably maybe would not have enjoyed it.
probably, and one of the reasons they probably delayed that was because Star Fox Guard, and they delayed that for good reasons. Now I see, but
there could be 2 reasons for this though. I mean, like the game could be ready, but they're just really not happy with it. They just want to work on it more to make it really good, or the game just really is not ready and it's just crap, and they just need to make it at least decent.
Maybe, maybe they're just taking a Minecraft approach for it. Whereas Minecraft was in beta for years.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a year and a half. Probably even 2.
Yeah, but I mean, Minecraft. This is not going to be like Minecraft.
No, but they put the bare bones experience there, and they just build and build and build until they're happy with it.
Yeah.
To release a 1.0 edition.
Yeah.
Of the game.
Yeah.
And it's people with the early access have had the cheapest, most accessible product of that game.
Yeah.
Whereas people who go into it at the 1.0 game would have to pay full price for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking that approach, and some people really enjoy that. Some people really enjoy picking up a game from the bare bones and going along the development process with the developers, So, who knows?
Next piece of news, and this is the last one. Game Explain has put up on YouTube 18 minutes of gameplay of Metroid Federation Force. Have you seen this?
I haven't watched it. I've seen it though.
I watched some of it, but there's been a lot of comments and criticism on the gameplay about there just not being much to do in the game. There's a lot of walking, not much shooting, and the shooting that they do have is pretty easy. So yeah, people are just calling it boring.
God, that's just so... 18 minutes of a game. You can't comment on 18
I think it's
minutes.
a whole level. I don't know if it's the first level, but it's a whole level.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. That's the comments.
I don't want to... You know what? I don't want to see anything of this game now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick it up. I don't care if I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I not enjoy it. I actually just want to support this game now.
Yeah.
Because... God. I bet you all those people complaining are going to pick up the game and change their minds.
It can't be as bad as everyone thinks.
No, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah. We won't bring it up again on the show until it's out.
When is that? Have they put a release date to it yet? This year?
It's this year sometime.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to Would You Rather.
It's your turn, hopefully, this week,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is. I got questions.
Good. All right, good.
All right, question 1. Would you rather buy big name games as soon as they come out, or wait for a Game of the Year edition where they include all DLC?
Funny, we just talked about this.
We did, so... But how games where there's going to be DLC later on, would you rather wait for a sort of a collection pack?
I like the collection pack. Typically, they're cheaper as well than buying the game day one.
Yeah.
Or week one. Cheaper, and you get, maybe 50 hours of extra content on top.
Yeah.
50 to 100 hours of extra content. And, usually they package them with maps or collectible items or nice different box art or something. And, take it back to the example I used before with Borderlands. I don't know. I just wanted as much Borderlands as I could get.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to pick up the pack.
I guess the only bad thing that we were saying was if you do sort of start a DLC mission that you don't realise you're starting and you get stuck into it.
Yeah, but, if, maybe if a Fallout 4, maybe if all the Fallout 4 DLC is okay, I might sell off my Fallout 4 copy and pick up a collector's edition.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Have you seen the DLC? Like what's involved in that? I was watching gameplay on Twitch.
The robot one?
Yeah, the robot.
It's pretty cool. People
You
done
can
some
sort
cool
of-
things.
Yeah, mod your robot to look however you want. And give it things. That looks really cool.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I would rather just a straight up story DLC, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I prefer DLCs like this, just adding like a new sort of character thing
Okay.
rather than a story.
Yeah. Alright.
With games like Fallout 4, it's the stories, there's already so much story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Actually, one I've always wanted, to be honest, I don't think they've ever put out like a collector's edition or game of the year, is BioShock Infinite. Can you ever think?
I don't think so.
No, I've always wanted the DLC
Yeah.
because I've heard the stories in those DLC packs continue along or build on the original story. And
One thing that I was really close to getting was the Mortal Kombat XL.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Alright.
Just because it's got everything in there.
Yeah, but
All that DLC stuff in there.
like I was saying, like I don't see you as a fighting game
I just want to play as Predator.
Yeah.
Play Predator, hey.
and Alien.
And Alien, yeah. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And also another one was... what was it? Yeah, I forgot. Oh, well, move on. Would you rather see no gameplay of Sun and Moon and hear no details about it? Or would you rather, actually see lots of stuff before it comes out?
That's funny because they've said footage is coming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in a week's time or something. They said early April.
I was going to make this question broader, as in gameplay about, games that you're really excited for.
Okay.
Like, what's the game that you were really hyped for this year? One of your most hyped games?
Star Fox Zero.
I bet you've already seen lots of gameplay for it.
Okay. Doom.
You've played that.
Oh, true.
We'll just stick with Sun and Moon.
Okay. I would if they had shown a little bit more in the reveal,
Yeah.
I would be set.
Yeah.
So I think I
What,
need
just maybe him walking around? Like
yeah.
Trainer walking
I just
around
want
or
to
something?
see what the art style they've
Yeah.
gone for, because everyone knows how Pokemon plays.
Yeah.
But
We don't know if it's kind of this 3D thing or like how much more 3D it can get in this
Yeah.
world.
yeah,
Is it like,
I just want to pick up a Pokemon game and be surprised again.
yeah.
So I'm gonna watch this new footage that's gonna come out because I expect it to be actual game footage.
They don't, in the past, they don't release much. There's only maybe like 3 trailers or something of gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's about it, I think.
I love to be surprised. I love to see Pokemon for the very first time. And
Yeah.
that's a really
After
good
picking up,
feeling. Yeah, and so I'm gonna watch this footage, but I want that to be it.
Yeah.
I stayed away from Pokemon Tournament. So much came up about that, probably even too much.
Yeah.
They revealed every single character in that game. Why? I wanted to see the roster for the first time myself.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises left in games anymore. So hopefully Pokemon can buck that trend and keep gamers on the edge of the seats.
Would you rather exclusive VR games or VR games to be compatible with VR?
I think
just if you get a game, you can use your VR with it, or you can use without it, or actually exclusive VR games, which probably would be more immersive because it's built for VR.
Yeah. See, there's obviously games like that already around. Like, No Man's Sky's probably been slated as a VR heavy game.
Yeah.
But you can play that with or without. But there's games like that Until Dawn on Rails thing and all that PSVR stuff. To be honest, it's hard to say because I've never played in VR before.
Yeah, no.
I'd
can
rather
imagine though.
I can imagine. I'd rather just a VR exclusive
Yeah.
thing because, like you said, it's been built from the ground up.
Yeah.
You
If this does come out, it's PlayStation only, obviously, and it's just this massive phenomenon, and there's this really good games that you can play VR in it. Would it convince you to get a PlayStation and VR, which would be almost $1,000?
I've never thought about ever owning it because, like you said, the money is just out of this world.
Yeah.
But
Because we have to get a PlayStation 4 as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
there's got to be something, something that drops my jaw to the ground to actually pick this up.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen so far is like, oh, this would be cool, but I couldn't see myself ever picking up maybe more than half an hour a day or something. Like the Wii was a big fad. Like, I love the Wii and all its games, but in terms of like what the Wii could do, motion control, I got pretty bored of that pretty quickly. Wii Sports and like the early like Mario Party games.
Yeah.
I got so bored of like moving that thing around.
Yeah.
So, that's you can't really compare that to VR, but I think for me personally, it would just if it didn't have the right games, I'd find it so gimmicky. Because to be honest, I don't want to stand in my room with a helmet on my head playing a game. So there has to be just something incredible.
Yeah.
I really wish I could just try one out, but I don't want it to be going through 100 other people before I could wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want them to be demoing it at EB Games where like 1,000 people have already.
There'd be is there sizes that comes with the helmet? There'd have to be sizes. Imagine if you get one built specifically for your head shape.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
I feel like because it must like wrap around your head. I feel like that's like adjustable.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah. Next question: would you rather Bethesda to never revisit Fallout again, so that leaves room for the company to make a brand new franchise? I was going to say never revisit Fallout and Elder Scrolls, but keep Elder Scrolls. Just never revisit Fallout again.
No, keep doing Fallout.
Because all they do right now is Fallout and Elder Scrolls. They go do one or the other.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is Bethesda games. Yeah.
So that doesn't leave room for anything else now. It takes them so long to do this game.
That's right, and every time a game comes out, it's like an event. It's mammoth, but every game they do come out is a giant success, giving them more money, giving them more people to hire. Something else could be in the works right now. We just don't know because of how successful Fallout 4 was, and even Skyrim. And every game they release now, because of how well received Fallout 4 and Skyrim were, Elder Scrolls 6, whatever it may be, is going to be the biggest thing they're ever going to do.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. And
I'm glad they released Fallout now, because there has been sort of a lot of criticism, even with the, especially with the house building kind of thing.
I hate that.
Yeah. They know that now, so they can fix that in the Elder Scrolls, so...
Oh, right, so you think, they're going to incorporate that in the Elder Scrolls series?
Well, I mean, in Skyrim, they had a DLC where you could build your own home and everything. That was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
And so they've taken it to the next level with Fallout 4, doing this whole structure thing, which didn't really work, but yeah.
Well, okay, I didn't really answer the question. No, I keep going in Fallout. I love the Fallout universe. I just like the time period it's set in, and just the events that take place. I don't know, it's the world is, the characters they make are really awesome and charming, and yeah, they pull that post-apocalyptic world off really well.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I've only played one game of it, but I really love it. So I'd hate to see them just not go back.
Yeah,
that'd be really, really weird.
Last question: would you rather the new GTA game, which whenever that may be, GTA 6? Would you rather it be set in America or somewhere else?
They haven't done it anywhere else, have they?
I think number 2 or one of them was in London.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Wow. No, stick to America.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought for sure you would have said somewhere else.
No.
Because my next question was going to be, where would you like it set?
Yeah, no, don't turn into Assassin's Creed and every game has to be a new location. Like, yeah, new country, I mean, like...
Okay, well, if you were sticking with America, where in America would you like to see it next?
Yeah, I've heard Seattle. Everything I've heard about Seattle is incredible. Maybe there. I don't know, maybe just not so centralized to a one kind of state or district. You know,
Yeah.
they're getting bigger with every game. Just put it over a couple, maybe cross the border into Mexico or Canada, Red Dead style. I don't know. I'm not very good on.
I think it'd be awesome to see them go to like what Sleeping Dogs did, go to Japan or China or something.
Yeah, but to me, just GTA is so rooted in that American humor culture. The humor is so rooted in American culture.
But I think that they might get some gamers a bit fatigued with that American style again, and I think they need to change it up a bit now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they've pretty much done the two biggest areas of America.
Yeah,
you know, LA and New York.
New York. Yep.
Yeah, maybe it is time. I just can't imagine it being anywhere else though.
They can go to a small town, farming town.
Well, yeah.
I reckon Australia or
Yes. No.
that'd be awesome.
That'd be so weird.
Gold Coast.
Ugh. No, I couldn't imagine it being anywhere else. So that would really, I could imagine them pulling it off, but it has to be a miracle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to take a little break. We'll come back. Okay, and we're back. We're going to get straight into franchise wars. The game that we've picked this week is Pokemon Snap. Do we want to see this game turn into a franchise? Do we want to see a sequel?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course we do.
I've been just waiting for them to release this game on Nintendo 3DS eShop. Just maybe, touch remastered a bit.
They don't do 64 games on...
But not even
3DS.
released as a 64 game, just remake it as they did with Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
This would be perfect for the 3DS.
I don't think it was as big a success as we're thinking it was,
There's a lot of love for this game.
Yeah. If anything, they'll just put it on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah.
But it works just so perfectly with the gyroscope.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Missing
Yeah.
out a big opportunity. Well, I mean, if it was for Wii U, you can still use your Wii U controller for the gyroscope as well.
Yeah, I don't think the controls would differ if it's just a virtual console title. They'll just use the joystick.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
I think they would have
To release the whole game, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this game was very short, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to it.
But that's why they should release a sequel to it, because there's so much they can do now. There's so many more Pokemon they can add into it, and then so many new places they can put into it.
Yeah. Yeah, what I really loved about this game was the locations they went to.
Yeah.
The cave and the swamp.
Yeah.
The valley and stuff. Awesome. Yeah, it's Pokemon spin-off games rarely get a sequel. And when they do, they just get the fat or the catch to the game ends pretty quickly. Pokemon Ranger, if you've ever heard of those games, had 3 games in the series. But
These dungeon games?
No. Oh, the Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had about, I want to say maybe 6 or 7
So they
titles
do get
now.
a lot of sequels then.
They do. I don't know why Mystery Dungeon gets all the sequels, because I think they're one of the worst spin-off games, even though I've bought the new one.
Yeah. How is that anyway?
It's pretty good.
Oh, that's right. You said it was very kiddie.
Yeah, it's very kid-like.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, there's this other spin-off game called Pokemon Conquest, if you've ever heard that. It's a tactical RPG in the similar vein of Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted that, but I can never find a copy for it. It's a pretty rare gem, I think, these days.
Download it, can't you?
No, it's a DS game, not a 3DS game.
Oh, right, yep.
So it's a rare gem these days, but I've always wanted it because Final Fantasy Tactics has always interested me, but you know, with anything the Pokemon style over the top, just gets me straight in straight away. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we can say the same thing about bring back Pokemon Stadium, but I think the Pokemon franchise, people are too deep into the way the Pokemon works now that Pokemon Stadium is just too simple.
Yeah.
For them. Whereas Pokemon Snap, again, too simple.
Yeah. They need to do something new with it to sort of bring it back.
What do you reckon? How could they develop? How could they evolve it?
Well, I mean, Pokemon Snap, you're just taking pictures, right? What else can you do with a camera? If you've got a camera and you're in the Pokemon world, what can you do with it? Selfies and...
God. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Edit your photos.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I remember at the end, it shows your best photo or something.
Yeah, it automatically shows the best photos, but you could personally go through and choose them. That was another great thing about it. Flicking through back, I think you had a roll of 50 or 60. Yeah. Going back and checking all
and you could
photos.
save your ones that you really liked as well. Delete the rest and save the ones that you really liked. So you have this save folder of all your good photos. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? You know, integrate that into social media now.
Yeah, yeah.
Share it to all that. And
So that's another thing. Yeah.
Integrate as many Pokemon as you can in it. You I don't know if they could fit all 700 plus in there.
I'm sure they can. And even like if you only see, it's really rare to find one Pokemon. Maybe sometimes they don't pop up. It's like there's a 2% chance they pop up in the level, or they do pop up all the time, but it's really hard to get the photo because they go so quick. Yeah. You know, things like that in the game.
Yeah, because one of the great things about Pokemon Snap is that, you know, the first time you play through the game, you don't see all the Pokemon, but you see like silhouettes of them, or you see them rumbling in the grass, and you think, oh, I wonder how you get that. You know, as the game progresses, you get apples and like smoke bombs and the poker flute and stuff like that. And then you play the game through a second time, you try out all your new things. Yeah. Remember, like, you throw an apple, like the first level Pikachu's just on the beach, but you throw an apple towards the surfboard, he starts surfing on the surfboard, and you get extra points for that. Yeah. So, to integrate all those clever little things that Pokemon Snap did, the more times you play it, with the 700 plus Pokemon, and, you know, integrate all these new cool items that the Pokemon series has brought in. I don't know. I
think the length of the levels were good as well. I don't think you need to extend those. Maybe just add more levels. I mean, because, you know, if you're going along in that cart, it's pretty slow and you're looking at all this scenery and everything. You don't want to be on there for too long. So the length of those were really good. Yeah. So it just add a lot more levels. You'd have to, because of all the Pokemon you'd have to fit in, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Be a tough one to bring back, but...
I just think they could do a lot with it. Like what we were saying, you know, with all the things you could do with your camera.
Would you still want it to be on rails? Would you want free control of it?
No, I'd want on rails. Take you through certain parts. Because that's the whole thing of trying to take these rare photos, you know? It's really hard to catch these photos because of your on rails and it's controlling you. You only can have control of your camera.
Yeah. I just thought it was so strange that the Wii U gamepad is so built for it. Yeah. It's like you're holding a camera in your hand. And we just never got a title for it.
No.
I don't know. This game was made by like the Pokemon company, wasn't it? Like it wasn't
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
And Nintendo.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so strange. I mean, yeah, you know, other people's favorite spin-off games might be like, was it like Poke Park or whatever that thing was called?
Yeah.
Remember that on Wii? You know, like maybe people want that back, but it just doesn't come back. And yet they've made like 3 or 4 Pokemon Rumble titles.
Yeah. No one wants that. Pokemon Picross and...
Yeah. God, it's strange, isn't it?
Alright. Yeah, we'll move on to our topic of the show. I'll go with mine first. My topic that I've brought this week is too much hype killing big name games. And
yes,
it is. Because especially games that were announced, you know, 2 or 3 years before its release. Look at Division.
I'm so sick of the Division now.
Yeah. You just get sick of hearing about these games. And what really angers me as well is that some games are advertised so much that aren't even that great, but they just market so much because they sort of have the funds. I'll give you an example. Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Yeah.
It's a crap game.
Yeah.
But it's acting like it's the biggest 3DS game of this year.
Oh, I think that has to do with just because the Zelda franchise just sells no matter what. And I think it's because the Zelda franchise has turned 30. 30? 20?
Yeah. But, I mean, that's not linked in any way. I haven't heard this being linked with it's Zelda's 30th anniversary.
No. Yeah, like I've been saying before, like that game just... I don't understand why the full version of that game is on 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right, though. Watch Dogs was another one. Like, everyone brings up Watch Dogs of how oversaturated that game was.
Yeah. If that game came out of nowhere, then it'd be a decent game. You know, it'd be pretty good.
The
wouldn't
games that do so well come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about, like, that was rumored for a little bit.
It was rumored, but nothing was said about it until they announced it.
No.
Even when the announcement, everyone was, 100% certain it was going to be Fallout 4. I was thinking, how embarrassed would everyone be if it wasn't Fallout 4 they announced,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can come back now and Bethesda has another press conference at this E3. If what are they going to announce this time? Skyrim? I mean, what do you call it? Elder Scrolls?
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah. But, so E3 has a lot to do with hype.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just the hype machine, really.
I mean, because E3 is a show and they sort of have to have a certain amount of time for the show. Say if they don't have enough games to fill that time, they'll just put games in that are still being developed and they're 2 years away.
Yeah.
And that's just what kills these games.
Ubisoft is the worst.
Oh yeah,
the absolute worst. That I'm certainly positive that Ghost Recon Wildlands game they've got on. They said that's 2016. No way is that 2016. No. They're going to be talking about that for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Going back to the Division, the first time we saw the Division, we were amazed of how great the graphics looked because we thought that would be an early next gen game.
Yeah.
Now that we're almost 3 years into this generation, we're just like, yeah, it's alright, I guess.
It's just alright.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of people that will, think it's the best game ever and everything, but, it's just... I'm not one to get games straight away anyway, but, I mean, like, now I've just picked up Witcher 3 and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and those games were, I guess, hyped a lot.
I think Assassin's Creed, because it is you can put that to a yearly franchise.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see what the next one is.
Yeah, but the hype on that, the hype cycle on that is pretty small. I mean, they announce it and release it.
People just expect that.
True. What if, how hyped is, like, the EA Sports franchises?
I don't think hyped really at all because, again, people just expect that to be announced every year.
Yeah.
I mean, like... There is announcements of those games, when the next FIFA comes out, it's announced, but no one cares when it's announced. I mean, do you even hear about it? There's just one news story that I see, FIFA 17 was announced,
Yeah.
No one cares. No one really talks about it until sort of maybe they show some gameplay, some new features, and that's all it is. But
I'll tell you who another is a bad example of this. I think it was maybe E3, God, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, EA's conference at E3, horrible. Because they showed off Star Wars Battlefront for the first time and Mirror's Edge 2 for the first time.
Yeah,
they were just proof of concept things. Like, they just took a films crew through the development studios. And, hey, we're working on Star Wars Battlefront. Here's some drawings and it's going to be a game. Like, they had nothing.
If you're going to do that, maybe just show a title, Star Wars Battlefront, and then just say, we're working on this. It'll be out in the near future.
Yeah,
if just do that and that's it. Don't say anything else, and then don't talk about it for another year until you're ready to actually show something.
Yeah, even I guess they were expecting Mass Effect Andromeda to be out this year, but that's turned into 2017. They showed us a pretty great trailer for that. I think that was the right thing to do. They at least had something to show us.
Yeah.
Even though now the hype cycle on that is extended by maybe another 3 to 4 months. Even still, just even that trailer is kind of holding me off. It's giving me enough to hold on to.
It's sometimes it's good because when they announce games early because it leaves you something to be excited for.
Yeah.
But then it's just the only problem is when they release all this gameplay and then they talk about it non-stop about on every single sort of gaming site and gaming channel and everything. It's just too much.
down to, like I said earlier in the show, down to the littlest things like they have to announce how much the frame rates and the what resolution it comes out. No one needs to know that, and that's just another news article that people have to go through.
Yeah. But can I say that the blame is not always on these people? It can sometimes be on us. Take NX for a reason. There was just an interview where someone mentioned, they're making a new Nintendo codename NX. That's the only thing that's ever been said by Nintendo, and look what it's turned into. That's all from us.
That is true. That is absolutely true. But
I mean, the hype is never been big
no,
enough for
I mean,
something.
Nintendo still continue to say when they announce directs, like, this direct will not talk about NX or...
Yeah, true, yeah. I mean, it is, confirmed, and they know that we know about it, and, but they've never, talked about it.
No.
They've never done that. It's just all rumours.
They've never said anything about it, have they?
And that's
what frustrates me.
But yeah, I mean, the hype has never been higher.
How do you think
for something?
Yeah, how do you think Nintendo deal with their hype? For example, their Nintendo Direct maybe a month ago, they announced games like the Kirby, which should be out in a couple months. That's a pretty short cycle. Kirby games aren't the most beloved or hyped games, but what was another game that was announced? Maybe Metroid Prime, Federation Force. That's been talked about for a little bit, but they've given us little drips and drabs over each month, over the past few months.
I just don't understand how some games are just chosen to have a lot of attention more than others. Like this Kirby game, when it's going to be announced, it's not going to be a big thing. But there are some games when it's announced, it's just the biggest thing ever. Like, when Majora's Mask came out, that's all you ever saw, on gaming sites. It's just Majora's Mask on sale now. For, months it would do that. And even when you go in there, there's just Majora's Mask, heaps of copies of them, posters everywhere for that game. They choose some games to throw all this attention onto it, where it's just, there are better games out there.
Yeah, you could put that down to maybe that's the only thing they've really got around at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to push console sales at the same time, and that kind of, I don't know, that's more marketing really. I'm not sure how the marketing side really works of that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's all on the people, how much money they have to advertise this, and if they do have a lot of money, well they will market it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just what's really frustrating. Like, even when you go back and look at these, I always look at, top 10 games of Xbox One or top 10 games of PS3. I always look at these top lists. I'm sick of hearing about these same games. It's always the same game. On every list in the 3DS, the number one game is always
Mario Land?
A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, really?
Number one in every list I watch.
Wow.
I'm sick of that. Also, I'm sick of when I look at the top games of PS3, it's always either Uncharted or Last of Us.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that. I've never played them. I've never played either, but yeah, I don't know. I had taking back to Pokemon Sun and Moon, like, I feel like Nintendo missed the mark. Nintendo or Pokemon Company or something missed the mark that time on the hype, because the hype has been exemplified this time around because we've been giving so little. The first time around,
Yeah.
If we've gotten that a little bit more, there wouldn't be so much speculation, and every second video you see on YouTube is a Pokemon rumor video.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case...
there was, for about a year, there was Pokemon Z, Pokemon Z rumors.
Or do you think some publishers or whatever actually try and, obviously they try and build hype, but at the same time they try and build speculation and rumor as well, just to get more people talking about the game?
I don't know what benefit there would be to build hype and speculation. People would just expect too much, and then the final product is not what they expect.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it would be the wrong way to go about it if a game company was actually trying to build hype for a game. I just don't think it's good. Especially, build hype, but not so far out.
Okay, what about another example like The Last Guardian? A game that's been talked about for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
We've been actually given a date on it for 2016. We actually haven't seen anything of that game since E3 of last year.
Yeah.
So people remain... I haven't seen any talk about...
I actually heard an interview with Shuhei Yoshida.
Yeah.
And someone asked him if the game was still ready to be released in 2016, and he said it'll be out when it's finished.
Oh no, that game's never coming out.
Yeah. So not good news, but
No. Yeah, like even though I feel like Final Fantasy games, particularly these new ones, they cannot stop talking about them, and I don't give a single rat's ass about them. Yeah, those are overhyped, but that's funny because they know Final Fantasy, particularly for the Final Fantasy VII remake, they know that's gonna sell unbelievably well. Why do they have to keep talking about it?
There are games where they know no matter how much you talk about it, it's just going to sell. Like you don't have to talk about Fallout 4, a game like that, every day and do much marketing. People are going to buy that no matter what.
I feel like that time it benefited from them. The lack of I mean the way they did it was perfect.
Yeah.
But then the short cycle for it, like less than 6 months it was out, that was totally to their benefit.
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
Really, really short time as well.
Yeah.
That was really good. And it's a successful game as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that's funny because it's an Ubisoft game.
Do you know when that first got announced, and because the release date was announced so close to the announcement of the game, people were speculating, this is probably just going to be sort of a half-price game, a smaller game. It won't be a full game.
That's funny, isn't it?
That's just because people, expect big games like these to be announced way earlier than the release date. So
that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even indie games have the worst. Indie games are the worst with delays and stuff. Look at Cuphead's been delayed many times.
Yeah.
There's this game by the same people who made Limbo. I think it's called Below. That game has been in talks since like 5 years ago or something. They just won't stop talking about it. It's always been shown at every single E3, and yet it's still not out.
Mighty Number 9 suffered from a lot of delays as well.
I think so many people are sick of that game.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that game. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And it's probably only going to get worse as well.
Yeah.
It'll be funny how it develops over this year's E3.
I mean, E3 is obviously one of the big things that caused this. Would you be happy to see E3 go?
No, because I just like getting involved in hype.
Yeah.
I'm a kid at Christmas. I like seeing all the new.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm two minds about that actually. Like, E3 comes around, you just get swept up in it because it's just a big celebration of look at all these new games.
I reckon E3 should just focus literally on what's coming out in the next year until the next E3.
That's what it should be, and that's what I think they do. But they announce all those games because they expect it to be out in that period, but no delays, and half of them know it's going to be delayed.
But there are some games that are announced and literally, they know it's not going to be out within the next year.
Yeah,
it'll be out way farther than that.
Yeah,
but maybe just have a shorter conference for half an hour conference for each company, and maybe just announce games that are coming out until the end of 2016.
Yeah.
Just because, those games that will come out to the end of 2016, they'll be pretty much done.
Yeah.
Or nearly, getting to that stage where they're finished.
Yeah.
So they'll have a lot to show for those games. So, I mean, if there are games, that they have no idea whether it will be out on time, just leave. Because that just adds to the fire.
No, yeah, like you were saying, they just need something else to fill that gap.
Yeah.
So, shorten it.
Shorten it. I'd be happy with a shorter E3.
The weirdest thing I've said, and people agree with this, is that Shenmue 3 announcement with the Kickstarter thing.
Yeah.
Strangest thing. Why build hype for a Kickstarter for a game that's not going to be out probably till 2020?
Well, I mean, I guess you'd have to sort of pay to get your game announced or something on E3. And if you have the money, then why not do that? Because it announces it to the whole world at E3, so people will put money into the Kickstarter.
Oh, I think that's Sony's doing, because I feel like Sony has a hand in how these games are getting developed.
Yeah.
Same with Microsoft, I guess. Microsoft as well, to blame. That game Recore was announced.
Yeah.
We haven't heard a single thing about that.
I check the Xbox store a lot on upcoming games, and that game is always so down the bottom, the
Yeah.
last one on the list, and it hasn't moved. That thing gets updated all the time, but it's still there, and it won't move for a while.
And look at that, you can pre-order. Can you even pre-order that game?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I think some of those games you click on it, you can pre-order, but some of them just say unavailable.
Yeah. So I don't expect to hear anything about Recall until this year's E3. And again, I don't feel like that game's going to come out until like 2018 or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm still excited for E3. Mainly because, just Nintendo.
Yeah, I want to see Nintendo. I'm excited for Bethesda as well because they've got their second conference now. They've had their Fallout. I mean, the reason they had their first conference was for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Now they don't have a big game like that. What are they going to have? So
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Be surprised for sure.
Yeah, because everyone sort of expected Fallout 4. No one knows what to expect now.
Yeah. Well, Fallout 4 was announced a couple of weeks before E3. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was definitely announced.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But just that it was Fallout 4.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll move on. What's your topic that you brought?
My topic is something I've been thinking about quite a lot is that it's pretty much Let's Players versus reviewers, I guess you would say. Game reviewers are work for money. They're hired by companies and organizations and media outlets to their life is to review games. They get paid for that. And yet Let's Players and Twitch streamers and YouTubers still do the same thing, review a game, and probably get more viewers or more traction, only because they've got such a solid audience. So I guess my question is, my topic is, do traditional game reviewers, are they still relevant, or is it just the wave of the Let's Player?
Well, I mean, I don't really watch too many reviews these days. If I want to see a review, I literally will just click on a review, scroll down to see a number.
Yeah.
And if I want to see what a game's like, I will always go to YouTube and see gameplay of a game, so a Let's Play, and I'll just watch maybe 10 minutes of it.
I'm the same too.
Yeah.
If I were to see a review, I always read reviews. I always scroll down to the bottom, see the score first, and then read the review because I want to get in depth with it. But that's only games maybe Fire Emblem Fates and mainly Nintendo games really. But games I'm on the fence about, I always have to see gameplay footage of it.
Because, I mean, if you're reading a review, that's one person's opinion. That person you don't even know. And then the only way to do it, I think, is to watch gameplay yourself. I mean, sometimes when the Let's Players, they talk about the game as they're playing it, which is sometimes helpful. Yeah. But, mostly it's just watching the gameplay. I mean, usually when I'm watching gameplay of a game, I really like what I see, so I go and pick it up, bring it home. I'm not really surprised, it's just, I can imagine myself playing this game with what kind of controls it will have. The only one I was pretty surprised about was Sunset Overdrive, the difficulty of that game, maneuvering in that game.
And if you had read a review, maybe you would have understood that.
Yeah, but all the reviews were pretty positive. I don't think anyone was sort of talking about it. I mean, you could just read one review and no one would have brought that up, maybe.
True. That's true.
I mean, and that's just sort of one thing that threw me off of the game, but maybe to the reviewer, that's something that was just didn't affect them at all. So they just left that out of the review and they just said, really good gameplay controls and everything. So maybe that's what I would have gone from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I definitely, if I'm going to watch a Let's Play, I'll watch, 10 minutes of, a video of someone playing the game. But that doesn't really make my decision then. I'll probably revisit that later on and still watch more reviews. I mean, gameplay of it. Yeah.
When it comes down to just one person's opinion, if you have a favorite Let's Player or a favorite streamer or something, would you trust his or her opinion over a reviewer you don't even know?
Generally, if you have a favorite YouTuber who does Let's Plays, you sort of know that person because you watch their other videos, you know what they're like, you know what games they're like, so you can relate to them. So if they like this particular game and they're having fun with it, you'd probably like it as well because you've chosen that YouTuber because they're probably like similar things to what you like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, whereas, you know, a written review or a video review of something from IGN or something is just a name to an article. It's just, and you know that reviewer may do 20, 25 reviews in a year or something, and you get to know them and their writing style and what kind of games they like too. But it's two very different formats, and you know, people's reviewers don't put out their personality that much out in the text, whereas
it's just facts.
It's straight up fact because of their writing style or how, you know.
That's why it's good to, if you're watching Let's Plays, you don't watch people playing the game who are really, really popular, because you never know, they could be sort of advertising the game themselves. But a good thing to remember about Let's Plays as well is, if you're watching a YouTuber playing a game, they're generally going to be overexcited about the game just to make the video more exciting. Because if you're watching a person playing a game and they're just sitting there going, oh, this game's pretty crap, and then they're just sort of bored through the gameplay, you're not going to sit there and watch the video, are you? And you're probably not going to continue watching his videos.
That's true, and that's a whole nother topic. That's something I've actually gone into myself in one of these articles I've posted myself or whatever. Whereas people put their hyper visualize their personalities through these videos. Maybe 50% of the time, like, the people the person on the camera is actually them, whereas maybe the other 50% of the time,
because, you know, you watch gameplay of Just Cause 3, and you know, you're throwing those wires and you're connecting them, and then you make a huge explosion, and I've seen people going, oh my god, that was incredible. Like, was it really that great? Or
no,
are you just doing that for the video?
Exactly. Yeah, it has to be entertaining. As well. And
so I guess you sort of gotta trust the YouTuber that you're following.
That's always a barrier for me. Like people who just over exaggerate everything. A YouTuber. That's my cutoff point. Yeah. Whereas, you know, people have to be more. I have to really enjoy people who are more grounded, more. I don't know, who I actually can just
maybe just play the games that they want to play. I mean, if you see a YouTuber who literally has playlists of every game that's come out, and they're sort of excited in all these videos and every game, then maybe you shouldn't trust them. But if there are games where it's just certain games that this person just plays because they like, you know, then it's maybe just good to go to that one. Yeah,
for example, there's this game that came out maybe almost a month ago called Stardew Valley. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
On the PC?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be interested in this game unless I had watched one of my favorite streamers play it. And I've watched enough of it now where I realized, okay, this is all the game has to offer. I've gotten my enjoyment out of this game. I wouldn't pick it up. But I wouldn't have even come across this game unless he had streamed it. Which is interesting because you find some streamers who stream just the most bare bones, like weird games out of Steam.
Yeah.
And then that's how these games get popular.
Yeah.
For example, Rocket League. Rocket League really took off thanks to Twitch.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be where it is without Twitch. So I always prefer to go to a YouTuber for an opinion, but you know, I still have to look at those big companies.
Yeah.
What they're putting out. And most of the time, those big companies really don't post great reviews, as in.
I mean, well, a good thing to avoid opinions from these paid reviewers is to go to Metacritic, because it's got sort of all of them combined.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I check regularly as well, Metacritic, because it's got everybody's different opinions combined into one score.
Isn't it?
And it's usually something that you can trust.
Yeah, that's like all these major publications put into one. Is it also like the community can vote as well?
Yeah, and so sometimes they're pretty different scores as well.
Yeah, okay.
Like to one scale to the other scale. You know, sometimes it could be a 9 from the critics, and then a 6 from the user base.
Who would you trust more?
Maybe just go to the middle of that score. So if there was a 9 on one end and then a 6 goes, that's a 7.5.
Okay, for example, if the first thing you thought you saw a new game, like you haven't seen any gameplay or something from it, you first go to Metacritic to see the scores we're about.
Yeah.
If there was that split division between scores, like a 6 and a 9, you know, would you go to YouTube, search it out for gameplay, or would you pick it up based on that 6 and 9?
No, I'd always go to see gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever picked up a game without seeing gameplay, apart from, you know, rugby league games, because I just want to play that anyway. So
I feel like for me, that new Plants vs Zombie game, I hadn't really seen much from it. I just got word of mouth, you know,
and you just wanted a new multiplayer game as well.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's a purchase I kind of regret.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the gameplay looks pretty fun.
It does.
When you're watching Let's Plays, but then again, you said the controls when you're actually playing it.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. Again, you know, I haven't sunk enough time into it, but...
Another one that we could both agree on is Just Cause 2. We both picked that up, and didn't you play that as well?
No.
Oh, okay. Must have just been me. But the gameplay looks really fun. But the controls, just weird. They're just different and they're weird. There's something that you have to really get used to, and that's something that's sort of why I haven't gone and played Just Cause 3 yet.
Yeah.
Is because I think the controls are pretty much the same, and it'd be sort of a bit different to get used to as well. So
okay, yeah. Well, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Our next segment is Buy or Deny. So this is just games that are coming out within the next week, and we talk about whether we want to buy or not.
Cool.
There's only one game on this list.
Oh.
I'm sure there are others, but I didn't really look in depth, and I'm sure they'd just be smaller titles. The one game that's on this list is Quantum Break, which is coming out 1 week from now, next Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, this is I've actually changed my mind on this one. I was 100% against this.
Why?
I don't like movie stars in my games.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the gameplay of it?
I have. It
Yeah.
looks pretty fun, actually.
Yeah.
It looks pretty great. And it looks like it has a great story to it.
The
as well.
weird thing is those two guys that, you know, the gameplay that you've probably seen, they're actually British guys, but they're putting on American accents.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of them, the other guy is one of the hobbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a whole other topic on its own, but get film stars, TV stars out of video games.
Yeah.
They belong in their medium.
Yeah.
I want to see fresh faces. Mocap is great and whatever, and just bring.
But you know what would be cool though, if they do release a VR game with these kind of, you know, movie actors, it'd be like you're actually with those actors.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Just weird though, you know.
One-off games like this is all right, I think. With these movie actors, I mean, you don't have them all the time. I mean, like, you know, a game like Uncharted, which is really sort of story driven, and there's lots of cutscenes, which makes it sort of look like a movie. They're not based off actors or anything. They're just made up characters.
I way prefer that though.
Yeah, me too. Because, you know, if you're going to do some, maybe, you know, one of those collaboration games, you know, PlayStation All-Stars, where,
yeah.
You know, you have Nathan Drake, but what if it was based off a character? You know, what if it was Mark Wahlberg? It'd be Mark Wahlberg in there.
Quantum Break have really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
If that opportunity were to arise,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. Look, from what I've seen of it, the motion capture of this game looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching a movie. Well, actually, that's another thing interesting about this game. It's part game and part.
Yeah, because you're watching a lot.
Yeah, and that's probably another thing that's kind of put me off a little bit too, because why have the characters in the game look so realistic to the actors, and then switch to having it real live motion? You know, if you put so much time and effort to make these actors look so real in the gameplay, then why switch it to live action? You know, that's just kind of taking away all your hard work, and it's a little jarring. You know, switching. I find that really strange, to be honest.
It's different though. It's something that's coming out that's different. It's not another Assassin's Creed game or another Far Cry game.
No, I'll give them that. Like it's one of like the most interesting new IPs in a long time.
Yeah,
for sure. Maybe I'll just get it on the fact that it's so unique.
Yeah.
This is what we need. Yeah, actually, what piqued my interest is going back to the last topic is watching a Let's Play of it. Like some YouTubers have got the game early. You know, that's another thing reviewers don't get anymore.
And I sort of had no interest in this either, but I watched a Let's Play and it looked pretty good.
Yeah. I actually want to see how actually long the game would be.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask as well. What if it's just like a 10-hour thing, you know?
I think what stretches out the game is all the live action stuff. Because what I've heard about this game also is that if you buy it on Xbox One, which we will be doing, the live action movie cutscenes are not stored on a disc. They're like streamed or download. Like you pretty much have to download them.
Yeah.
To the hard drive, or they're streamed.
Yeah.
So you pretty much need a pretty good internet connection to run this game. Like you don't want to get halfway through a movie cutscene and have it be buffering, and I think that's another thing that pulls me out of the game if that were to happen.
With my setup, I'm in a bit of a black spot with my setup, so my internet cuts out a bit. So
yeah. So I think I might wait on this game for a little bit again to see how those review scores go. Yeah, and just to see how long the game runs.
Yeah, I'll have to wait a bit as well. I'm not one for getting games straight away, so
I don't think this has any multiplayer to it, which is a pretty big deal these days. You know, a fully single player based game. Yeah, big deal. Yeah, I'll give it a try, I think.
All right, we'll move on to our last segment, NOS Shuffle. So in this segment, we're just gonna we've got a list of games that we've played in our past from the 90s and noughties. We're gonna randomly shuffle this list, and a game will come up, and we'll talk about it. And so let's start the NOS Shuffle. Jake, what's come up?
007, Agent Under Fire.
Oh, Agent Under Fire, yeah. Original Xbox game.
It's a very good game, but it doesn't hold up, does it?
No. I mean, before we actually start this, during our NOS shuffles, I don't know if you've noticed, well, you probably have, but when we talk about the game, I've got the background music of the game in there. Just wanted to bring that up because last week was Obscure, and a lot of the music in Obscure was not sort of, memorable. It's just like a lot of horror music. Yeah. It made the episode pretty dark. So.
Very atmospheric, yeah.
We actually had a clip from this game in a few episodes back with James Bond's voice.
Very memorable line.
Yeah. Fireworks.
It's this game must have come out after Halo, right?
Yeah.
So...
Oh, yeah. So, I think it was around the same time.
Okay.
It was pretty early on.
What I found strange about it is that Halo revolutionized the twin stick thing. This game operated entirely on the left stick.
Yeah. And I think the sequel to this game, Nightfire, did the same thing as well. Okay. Which was a few years after. So these 007 games really just stick to their one stick, which was, their original games came out on the Nintendo 64. Yep. So that's the developers, what they were used to, and I'm pretty sure they're the same developers. No. Oh, no, it wouldn't be, no.
God, no, it was rare.
No, yeah. But yeah, it was just difficult to use. Even when as soon as Halo came out, you were so used to using those two analog sticks. Yeah. So just even a couple years down the track, you go back to that game, it was too hard to use.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But that didn't get in the way of a pretty great story in that game.
Yeah, it was good when we were just used to using that one stick. Yeah. When it first came out, we got a lot of gameplay in there, just using that stick.
This is actually a pretty great game.
Yeah. Got a really good story as well. It could do well on its own as a movie, I reckon.
For sure.
Yeah.
What was great about it is that it was just typical James Bond, just like non-stop action. It had car chase scenes. It had tank driving scenes. It had... infiltration missions, and it was awesome. Yeah. Actually.
Do you remember some of the levels? I remember the first level was that submarine.
Yes.
Second level was the car chase in London. Pretty sure.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And some of the other levels, there was that one how it was this volcanic lava chamber kind of thing.
Was that called Fire and Ice?
I'm not sure.
No, I just remember the name of that level.
Yeah, but just some really good levels, I reckon.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last level? It was sort of this.
Like on a cable car.
Yeah,
like in the mountains.
Helicopter surrounding kind of thing, and you're doing your final boss fight in the end in this chamber.
Yeah.
I really do think this could stand alone on its own as a movie because it was just sort of this typical James Bond kind of thing.
What was good about it too is that the Bond character design they used wasn't based on any kind of movie actor.
Yeah, oh, that was
It
good. Yeah,
it was his own kind of thing, and
it was just James Bond as a game character. Yeah,
yeah, which was good. It didn't tie itself to any.
yeah,
It wasn't held back by any actor's kind of style or limitations, which was good because it did carve its own niche, and it, like you said, it had a sequel to it using that same character model, right? Didn't it? Yeah.
And this game was, I mean, this game was something that we really looked forward to as well, because after GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, this was, you know, then there was another, what was the next one?
Another Day to Die or something.
Yeah, that kind of thing. This was the game after that, and it was the first 007 game on a new console, being at the Xbox. Back then, the graphics were really good. Really happy with that.
I remember being them good. Yeah.
You had a lot of gadgets that weren't available in any of the other games, like your Q laser and your Q scanner.
Do you still use your watch for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's all on your watch. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you use it's Q everything, you know.
Yeah.
And it's got that British guy as well telling you how to do your stuff. You know.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Before every mission, Moneypenny
Yeah.
M would give you a brief of your mission as well.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you get like grapple hooks through your watch.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
right. The grapple hook. So every time you see that grate, you could hook up to that.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to. That's just a different alternate path you could take.
And did
Sort
it
of an
every
easy
time?
way.
Every time you took the alternate path, you get like extra points at the.
Yeah, there was this 007 thing that came on the screen.
Yeah.
And throughout the mission, there's maybe 5 or 6 of those to get.
Yeah, I remember trying to 100% each level, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty challenging game as well. Not just with doing those challenges, but also with the combat. It got pretty tricky. There was a lot of enemies, and I don't think there was a difficulty level setting.
I'm not too sure on that.
There was with GoldenEye.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe there was, maybe there wasn't.
One thing I do remember about this game, we had this game on Xbox, and I remember you were at a friend's place playing this game, and I went over there, and new game picked up or something like that, and I had to go over too. I remember you playing this game on PS2 at your friend's house.
Okay, yeah.
And back then, I thought back then, as a dumb kid I thought games on different consoles were two entirely different things, but it was the same game, but I thought because they're on different console, they're a different experience.
Yeah.
So, and then I remember walking in, you guys were playing this game, you guys were playing some level, and it was a part of a level that I had never seen before.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, what is going on? I haven't seen this part, so... and that's all I saw, so I remember trying to go back into the game I had on Xbox, and trying to find that part in the level.
Yeah.
And I remember finding it was just this one little walkway off to the other side I've never seen before, and it was nothing. It was just like a little separate area that connected the other way. But I don't know, it was just cool seeing a little extra part of that game that I had never seen before, and that realization of like, nah, all these games are the same on every console. Yeah,
They're exactly the same. Yeah.
Multiplayer was also good on this game.
Yeah.
We played.
Played
some split screen.
Yep. I was thinking like online multiplayer, but no. No, just split screen, just like we did in with GoldenEye. So yeah, we played a lot of that with this one.
Good maps. I remember the maps being pretty good on this. Yeah, I don't know, just all around like an awesome. I'm actually, like we do with every Nosh Shuffle, it always give me the urge to go back and watch some let's plays.
Yeah, I do that as well, especially because I've got to edit it and get the music as well. I'm keen to listen to some of the music from the levels again.
Yeah. I want to go back and just look at a list of all the levels or something.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed all the car driving sequences too. I remember them being pretty difficult as well, but really fast paced and just because this is one of the first when we got our original Xbox, we got a stack of maybe like 11 or 12 games or something.
Yeah, it was 11. Yeah.
And this was in one of the bunch of the games.
Yeah.
Along with Halo, which was really, like you said, really jarring to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But it still held up so well to Halo. Probably not now, but
because one of the we got a car racing game, which is Project Gotham Racing.
Yep.
In that collection, and I remember the car racing level in the 007 Bond game held up against that car racing game. It was good car mechanics. I mean, obviously you'd stay on the road. If you try to go off the road, it sort of knocked you back on. I don't think it was very difficult, but yeah, it was really good. But it made it really sort of very streamlined because it made you feel like, you know, James Bond driving through in a really fast car through a street and doing lots of, you know, these cool jumps and everything. So
yeah, awesome game, and
very good. All right, well, that brings us to the end of episode 7. Jake, when are we doing episode 8? Are we going to wait another 2 weeks? Or?
No, I'll be back next week.
All right,
or as soon as possible.
Cool. And we'll see you next week then.
See ya.